Yo, what's good, my peoples? I'm BK. And that beautiful sister next to me, that's Leah. And together, we created Battlekind. Here at Battlekind, our mission is to provide a platform that explores the arts and displays the hidden passions that exist within our communities. Join us on this revolutionary journey in which we hope to entertain, encourage, and leave you inspired through real life testimonies from people just like you. Welcome to our world. All right, y'all, welcome back. We have a very special guest. We have a treat for you all. She goes by the name of Maria Thorne, and we welcome her to the world of Battlekind. How you doing, Maria?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh,
Good.
Excited, man.
Yes.
She has 1,000 different colors, and they all work.
Right. I'm a colorful person.
Oh, yeah.
Colorful. That's
So
great. I'm a tacky, colorful person.
Ain't nothing wrong with being colorful. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all. Not at all.
So all right. So we, of course, as you all know, Leah, what time is it?
It's Rep Your Set time.
And Maria, it's time for you to rep your set. Maria Thorne, tell us about yourself.
Well, hi everybody. Thanks so much for having me here. I'm Maria Thorne from Maria Thorne Cosplay. So that is my Instagram name. And that's the page that I have that focuses purely on my cosplay work that I've been doing there probably for the last couple of years.
Tell people what cosplay is specifically.
Cosplay is pretty much dressing up, whether it be in your favorite comic book character, movie character. People do a lot. Like, it's kind of just branched out. I think it started more with comics, where you're bringing these characters to life that you are into, and you can also kind of get involved with like the costumes, the makeup, the editing. Kind of opens up like this whole can of worms, and there's just various different aspects that people get into.
Right. I know I've seen cosplay with like a lot of anime characters because I'm really big in anime as well. Do you like anime?
I'm not really as into it. I guess probably Sailor Moon.
Okay. Yeah.
Would be what got me into anime.
Oh, okay. Yep, most definitely. Started out when we were younger. We used to watch that as well. So.
Yeah, I used to read a lot of it in high school, but kind of got out of it.
Oh, okay.
So hold on. So like with cosplay, like is that like those like Comic-Con, like those people who go to Comic-Con, those conventions? Like, is that what it's called for everybody? Is that what
cosplay? Is that what it's called?
Right. Normally, you would go to the comic book conventions and dress up as a character that you are, whether it be anime, movies, or comic books, or something from pop culture. So that's kind of where I got my start at, and that's where a lot of people get their starts at. They basically get their costume ready and go to this convention where they get to meet people who are into the same thing and kind of show off their costumes, and it's kind of like that whole world. But it's also evolved into an online world as well. So some people might not want to go to the Comic Cons, but you can still have your online presence.
So you do you just have an online presence?
I used to go to the conventions before, when the world was normal.
Right, of course, COVID stuff.
Yeah, so now I haven't really done much and don't really have plans to, so I'm kind of just keeping an online presence for the time being.
Right, I mean, that's kind of the safest approach at this point. I mean, we understand, but so how long have you been doing this? Like, how long have you been doing cosplay?
Maybe, I think first con that I went to dressed up was maybe 2017, and I've had my page for a couple years because I had like a main profile, but I was like, this is a little weird. Let me start my own page just devoted to this cosplay, and it kind of branched off from there. So I've been doing the page for last couple, maybe 2 years, 2.5 years.
Okay.
But yeah, I've been into cosplay for a while.
Right.
What, and so, what did it take for you to say, you know what? I like that. I'd like to try that.
I had friends that would dress up, and I was always kind of, I don't know if I want to do this.
Right.
I want to go to the con, enjoy myself, and not be posing for pictures. But then I was being kind of hypocritical because I'm asking people to pose for pictures with me, right?
Right.
But I had a lot of, creative influencers who were friends and would just totally go insane, whether bringing like a Star Trek alien to life or something like that. So I decided, I was like, well, let me try it and kind of see how it goes, and I had a great time. So I kind of, took it from there, and then got more so into it during the pandemic. We were on lockdown. There wasn't really anything to do. You couldn't go out. So that's when I really got together with like a friend of mine, and we're like, we can do this on our own. Let's start doing this, and started the page and kind of branched off into it, and here I am.
So you have a friend, and I'm sorry, you can jump in at any point, but I'm curious about this. And so you have, because I've looked at your page, I've seen a lot of your content, great stuff. You all should check her out.
Most definitely.
Do you have someone in particular that you work with, or do you go to a studio, or do you do it yourself? Who are you partnered with?
I started out first doing photo shoots, which we know is very expensive. And then I felt that if I didn't plan the costume and have everything together, it would just be a mess. So then I was like, well, what am I paying for? I'm bringing the costume, someone's just doing my makeup. And then I was being told I didn't own the rights to the pictures, I had to pay,
The photographer.
Yeah, the photographer was like, oh, you don't own the rights, you can only have this small digital shareable size unless you pay, So I was kind of like, why am I doing this? And I was talking to my friend about it, and I do have a particular friend, and he was like, well, I've got space, we can set up some curtains here, get some photography equipment and just start doing it on our own. What's the point,
Right.
And I'm not really a makeup person.
Hence the reason for this show.
Exactly.
Recognize, will you? I'm sorry, as you were saying.
No worries, I was just saying I wasn't really a makeup person, so it's just tutorials on YouTube and just kind of trying stuff. And then I got more into the photo editing part, because I was like, I don't want to just take a picture. I want to add some cool power effects and make it fun, so it's not just like a mirror selfie, where I'm actually acting and telling a story with the character. So I got into Photoshop, and it kind of all branched out into more and more just doing my thing versus starting out with photo shoots. But now it was like, it's just completely 100% my own thing, and I own the rights to my pictures. I'll have to deal with that.
Awesome.
That's the reason for this show and this
Exactly.
Recognize, will you? So, as you all have heard, Maria Thorne has just repped her set.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's time for phase 2, Humble Beginnings. All right, Maria Thorne, let's hear about your humble beginning.
Well, my parents are both immigrants. They came in the late 1970s to Chicago, so it was kind of lonely not growing up with aunts and uncles and family, and I didn't really, being the oldest of four, I didn't really have direction, so I was kind of fending for myself. My parents had a tumultuous relationship, so we moved around a lot. So thankfully, I did have really good positive role models in my life that I met through various programs, like the Big Sister program. And I'm still friends with my big sister to this day. But she was an example of somebody who was independent, successful, had her own money, traveled. So I think I was I'm an old soul. So I think when I was younger, I realized, okay, I need to get myself together because I'm responsible for my destiny. I have no help. No one's going to help me. So I have to go to school. I have to figure something out to make myself money so I can travel and live a decent life. So I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for her. I also had a neighbor in another building that survived the Holocaust, so she's taken me to museums, theater, gives me books, and she even paid for some of my summer school sometimes if I wanted to get ahead with school. So she was really inspirational to me as well, and really helped push me and kind of helped become the person that I am today.
Hey,
Awesome.
like they say, it takes a village. It
Right.
really does take a village. The fact that you can name your neighbor.
Exactly.
It was a point in time where, remember when teachers would take an interest in a child or children, make sure they had the hat on, make sure they had gloves, make sure they ate. Now you can't do that these days.
No, I had a teacher, Miss Hayes. She took us to Great America, the best students in her class. She just was like, you want to go to Great America? And she took us and packed a picnic for us. Amazing people like that, right?
Right.
She didn't know how to do any of that.
It's all about the support.
Absolutely. So what do you think within your pursuit has been one of the biggest hurdles or something that you had to overcome that somebody could have been compelled to quit and walk away or give up?
I think I've just floundered a lot. I just didn't know what to do with myself in my life. I tried art, I tried teaching, and I'm in HR right now, so I kind of found a career that I like and I enjoy. But I just wasted a lot of time, going back and forth to different schools or programs. I just didn't have direction. It's kind of hard when you're 18 to know what the heck you want to do with yourself. I remember I was like, well, what am I going to do? I want to be an artist, but I didn't think about it. I'm like, oh, I don't want to freelance. I want to have a steady income, insurance, those kinds of things, And I had some friends who were totally successful with design and doing all that, but it just wasn't me. So I think that it's just been really hard to find that direction. What do I do with myself? How do I become successful and independent where I don't have to rely on anybody?
And so what did you do? What did you wind up doing to get you there, to that place where you felt okay, I kind of got my stride, I'm feeling myself now? And so how did you get there and when did you know you were there?
It was hard for me. I think around 2008, I was let go from my job. I was in school and trying to figure things out and working, at some small company for a little bit, tried graphic design, then got let go again a couple years later. And I think working for Target really kind of put me in a trajectory where I wouldn't be who I am today. And that's where I met Nesty, our mutual friend. And Target.
Shouts to Nesty, I see you, baby. So hold on. So that's an interesting piece that you mentioned about your corporate life. I'm sorry, this watch is just giving me the business. But look, so how, as an artist, how do you manage and maintain your career life and your passion? Because is your work life your passion or is your artistry your passion?
Work life definitely is not my passion. That is just something to pay my bills. I was in Portugal last month. One of my passions is traveling, and I've been to 33 countries, and I love to travel. That's a big passion of mine. So for me, it's been how can I pay my bills, and do what I like on the side, like the cosplay. That's an artistic, creative endeavor. And some people are successful. They can be an artist and sell their paintings for 10 grand, and they don't have to have another job. I just couldn't. I couldn't do that, So I had to find something.
So Miss Thorne, let me ask you. Hold on. Tell the people, specifically, and I'm gonna fall back after this. How much would something like that, an expenditure like that, cost? People, they want to be actors, they want to be models, but they don't realistically know the investment that goes into that? Like, tell people like what that.
I think you definitely have to have a backup plan. You know, I'm not telling people not to pursue their dreams. I'm just saying to be real. Like, if you don't want to have a ton of debt, and I'm a person that had to file for bankruptcy, you know, so I've bounced back from that, you know. So there's a huge toll that pursuing these things can take financially, right, and emotionally on us. So I think you have to have a backup plan. Like, do something that's gonna pay your bills, but also give you some time where you can explore your creative endeavors, and then hopefully they'll take off, or you don't need that job in HR anymore, you know. But it's there, you know, as you're trying to kind of find your way. But I think that's important, because a lot of my friends have kids, and I'm like, you know, do something that is not going to be wishy-washy, that, you know, is, you know what I mean? Like, you're going to have a job. So I'm really blessed, because during all this terrible stuff, I've not been let go. You know, our department has been, you know, like, extremely integral to the company. So it's great to have a job like that, where it's like, okay, you know, I'm okay, even though the world is gone crazy. So.
Thank you.
I can attest to that. I mean, that's why I went. I'm going to school. I'm a CNA right now, but that's why I'm going to school, to kind of have a backup plan. But like I said, I'm an artist, so I paint, so I can understand. I be trying to sell my paintings for, you know, what they're valued as, and yeah, $10,000. I don't think I've got there yet, but one day. One day. One day. Exactly.
Humble beginnings.
I love art, so I buy art, because there's not gonna be artists if we don't buy art, right?
Exactly.
So we gotta support each other.
Absolutely. So what's the end goal? Like, so we're doing this, like what do you look at and say, okay, I would love to get here, or to do this?
I think it would be awesome to have that following, where you have cons paying you to be there, you know, your artist sponsoring you. I think that would be great to have that following and make some money, because now I'm not making money, it's just an artistic endeavor, and you do spend a lot of money on it, the wigs, the costumes, you know, just having Photoshop every month you have to pay for, you know? So it would be great to get some return on investment. So I would love, you know, if you could take
that ROI is very important. Look at ROI, you know. But no, it's seriously though, I mean, it's true. I mean, we can attest to this journey right here. But when you love something, when you incorporate it as a passion, and a lifestyle, it's like what they say, do what you love. Do what you love. If you find something that you love, it's no longer work. It's just your passion. It's just the way you get up and you go to work.
It's your lifestyle.
You should be dedicated to your life and pursuing your passion that way. And again, we understand, like you mentioned, like it takes some, you know, investment.
Yeah, definitely. So, but for me, it's worth it, right? Like the creative satisfaction that you get from it, and look forward to it. So I think we all have to have that. And you know, I've worked retail management, I've worked for a bank, and sometimes these jobs can be kind of soul sucking. So it's nice to have that creative thing that you like doing, that passion that you have.
Yeah, because mental health, like, it's important. I mean, you know, like, without having that breakaway to say, all right, this is time for me. Like, you gotta look out for yourself. So.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, y'all. Well,
thank you, Maria Thorne.
I think you've given us a lot. I hope you all were taking notes. Because at the end of the day, we all have humble beginnings.
Hey guys, we're back. Miss Maria Thorne, we're here. We're gonna go to our last segment. It's called Sow Your Seed. So your seed.
Maria Thorne, as Miss Leah said, sow your seed.
Basically, I just want to offer encouraging words to anybody that is pursuing their artistic, you know, talents and dreams. Just keep on plugging away, keep doing it. I'm sure you will be successful, you know what I mean? And even if you're not the success that maybe you envision, you're still pursuing a passion and a dream, which is so important to have and to do. Like, I don't, you know, even if I never become a famous cosplayer, I still am going to enjoy my time. I'm not going to regret it that I spent working on this, putting the costumes together, you know, getting creative with Photoshop, and it's just a time well spent. So I just hope that you're out there and you're plugging away and keep at it.
Couldn't have said it better.
Not at all. It's all about the journey, guys. The journey's the fun part. Don't forget that.
Exactly. Anybody can criticize somebody on the sidelines, but when you're in the game and you're a player, like whether you reach the highest pinnacle, you can at least at the end of the day you can say that you went for it.
Right.
You tried, that you gave it your all. You know, you won't think back 20 years later and say, I wonder what would have happened if I would have. And so that's what we want to drive by this movement. And we want to thank you specifically, Maria, from our world to yours. We want to thank you so much for coming and spending time with us, sharing your story. You really shared some intimate details about yourself. I mean, you know, I personally know you, and you know, there were things I didn't know, and you shared. So I really appreciate that.
Yes, most definitely. You guys make sure you follow her on Instagram. I've seen some of the photos and they're awesome.
Oh yeah, definitely follow her on Instagram. What else are you? Are you just on Instagram? Tell people where they
At Maria Thorne Cosplay is my Instagram page. I had a Facebook, but there just wasn't much activity, so it's kind of probably hasn't been updated in a long time. There is a Facebook page too,
Facebook, Meta, whatever you call yourself, you better step it up. You better step your game up, because you all are missing out on wonderful talent just like this.
Yes.
I need y'all to get y'all minds right. Get it together.
I feel like IG is where it's at, right? It just seems to be a great platform for artists.
Right.
I like how you can follow, you know, whether it be tattoo artist, painter, photographer, travel person, like where it kind of filters out that politics and complaining that we get from other social media, where it's just kind of tailored to what your interests are.
Exactly. Get right to it.
Yeah.
Right to it.
Here's my picture. You know, that's it. You know.
Exactly.
I like that. It's easier to deal with.
Cool. Well, anything else? What else did you, before we get out of here, before we wrap it up? I mean, you know, we definitely enjoyed you being here. You got anything else you'd like to take us out with?
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It's been great to see the growth of what you're doing, and I look forward to that. And, you know, if anybody has any questions, just reach out to me in the virtual world.
All right. Y'all heard it. So, you want to take us out later?
Yes, thank you guys again for tuning in. Give an applause for Maria Thorne.
All right, y'all. We'll get y'all later.